Inside the Huddle with Steve Corries from ClaxonSports.com. Sponsored by Coshocton Regional Medical Center.
Welcome to Inside the Huddle. I'm Steve Corries, and we'll be back with Coach Chad Lahna after this message.
Coshocton Hospital has been there for me since I had my first stitches at 8 years old, and it was there for me just a few weeks back when I had to have a knee operation done.
It's just really nice to have somewhere that I know I can go. When one of my kids is being seen, they'll even check out my other kid just so they can be included.
Don received the best care that I think he possibly could have. Don and I both really felt that they were part of our family and we were part of their family.
I feel like I'm seen, or my kids are seen, and they generally want to hear what's wrong and they want to help however they can.
I want to be able to support an organization that's giving back to the community, that's part of my community. If that's a hospital, Coshocton Hospital is going to be my choice.
My guest today is Chad Lahna, the head coach of the Ridgewood Generals baseball team. And Coach, this is a regional berth, 6 and 12 or 13 years, and congratulations.
Thank you. We're fortunate to be in this situation, and we're excited to play tomorrow.
All right. One thing I wanted to really talk about. Let's kind of go back to the district championship game. You know, I got looking at the box score again, and the one thing that really stuck out to me was that first inning. You know, an error right off the get-go, a base hit, puts runners at the corners. And they get the run, but they get a base hit, and then you throw a man out at the plate, and then double him off as the guy got in a rundown. Kind of explain how that happened.
So that first inning started out a little chaotic. I think that error, just miscommunication by Jason Kopar. And I think a lot of that's just adrenaline in that situation. Ground ball to second base. Jace got eager. He came across, and we didn't have a problem if he wants to take that play. He's got to make sure he's contacting with Cohen, so Cohen knows he's coming across. Cohen didn't see it. He gets blindsided. Gives him a runner right there. But you're right. The big thing is with first and second, they hit a ball to the gap, the right center gap. And the guy gets a double on it. We make a great relay throw. The first run scores, not a big deal. The second guy tries to come around as well, make a good throw. Birdie puts the tag on him, get the second out at the plate, and then the hitter himself goes from a double, tries to stretch it into a triple, and we get that guy in a rundown as well. So that's a big momentum builder right there. Instead of being down 2-0. Or if everyone's safe and they add on another run, go down 3-0. It's a one-run ball game. We're able to settle in and kind of go from there.
I really thought the same thing. Then you got the two-run rally. Basically only had one hit, I believe, in that inning to get that run across, but did everything right. You had the sacrifice bunt. Everything seemed to work.
Yeah, that's kind of the story of our season. We've had some opportunities, and a lot of times, we've been able to score runs where maybe there's not a lot of hits in the inning. And, we get the sacrifice. We move the guy over. We score the run. Jack puts the ball in play to score that second run. It's just a big deal. Sometimes we don't hit the ball real well, but we're starting to put balls in play, which does help, and that's been able to allow us to score some runs.
All right, now we're moving on. St. Clairsville, #1 seed in the region and or in the district, and I'll tell you what, from all accounts, a really nice baseball team. So what can you tell us?
So they're a good program. Last year they in Division 4. When we had their Division 2 started last year, they made it this far as well. They got beat by a good Indian Creek team. Had a lot of guys coming back. They've got an ace on the mound in Brody Saunders, but they've got just pieces all around. So they're really competitive. They're a scrappy bunch of kids. They have played some of the teams that we have just got done finishing playing up here. They played Harrison Central. They played Martins Ferry. They played Highland. So there are some common opponents that they have played. But all around, we know what we're going to get. We've had prior experience with them in the postseason under Coach Slusser and under myself. So we kind of know what they're going to do. But it's going to be a good ball game, and we're just excited for it.
The other thing I was kind of interested in, I know on these situations things kind of close in a little bit. I think it's Wednesday, Friday. Is that how it's set up?
Wednesday, Thursday,
back to back. So now pitching becomes an issue. You've had two people that have done a lot of work. So that kind of, if you can get through this first one, sets up okay for you.
So actually, when I was out here this morning mowing, that is something that you start to think about, because in the situation we had last week between the district semi and district final, Connor threw in that district semifinal game, and we ended up bringing Mason in. Mason got to pitch 50, and luckily the game was over. At that point, 50 and under, you have 1 day of rest, so he was able to come back and throw in a district final game. When it's a back-to-back game, now your pitches to come back the next day are 25 and under. So it is a different mentality. It's a different strategy. Bottom line is, if we want to get to Thursday, we got to win tomorrow. And you do that regardless of what you've got to do and who you've got to throw. So we've got arms that we feel that we can rely on in situations. It goes further than just Connor, and it goes further than Mace. We've got Jackson, we've got Logan, we got Kopar, we got Grant. So we've got arms who we feel we can put out there. We don't have a power arm, but all guys are kind of the same thing. And whoever does get the ball and whoever is asked to throw innings for us, we just ask them to do the same thing. Just go out and throw strikes and let your defense play behind.
Hey, listen, I appreciate your time and look forward to these games coming up this week.
All right, thanks, Coos.
Inside the Huddle from ClaxonSports.com. Sponsored by Main Street Station Restaurant.